Welcome back, everybody. Here is information for your week 7 module. So for this week, we are done reading Gladwell. So you have just finished chapters 8 and chapter 9, and we don't need to read any more of that. We're going to be reading these 3 articles, which are going to help you think about the essay that you'll read about for this week. You'll also want to read chapter 6 of They Say, I Say, and you'll have a quiz on that chapter. Okay? For your writing, you want to be thinking about this essay. So it's not due until a little while later, and I'll show you the due dates on that. But you really need to be starting on this early because it is kind of a process, and I'll show you all the steps of the process and why you want to be starting so early so you can really give yourself a lot of time. Okay. So that's your writing, is that you're reading these, thinking about how they're going to connect to the essay, and then also looking for another article that's going to go and help you support your argument, okay? And then you'll also have the discussion for this week. So let's look through the various things. That's your quiz. Okay, here's your essay 3 assignment. So you want to read this early so you can be thinking about it as you read the essays. In what ways does our identity, how we see ourselves, as well as how others see us, affect our ability to be successful? So you want to be reading those articles, thinking about how you might answer this question, and then looking back into the other readings that we've done for the course, thinking about how they play onto it, and then additionally finding one more source, okay? So you need to find one source from the school database to discuss in this essay. And then additionally, you need to use at least 2 readings from class. So that means you're gonna use 2 of the articles that we just read, or a chapter from Gladwell and one of the articles. I think those are the combinations. For this paper, you're writing 5 pages. So it's definitely longer than the other ones, which is why you have longer to prepare it. But again, you need to start early. So take this assignment seriously. You'll be including a works cited page this time, so not only in-text citations, but citations at the end of your paper. This video will show you exactly how to format that, and this website is a place where you can generate annotations for either Gladwell or for the articles that you're talking about. Here are your due dates for this paper. You're going to be writing an annotated bibliography. I've actually opened up week 8 a week early for you guys, that you can check that out and read about what goes into your annotated bibliography. Essentially, you are citing each of the sources you're talking about and then writing a short summary, like the summary that we practiced for chapter 2 of Gladwell, writing a short summary introducing what is this author's main argument, how do they support it, and then how are you using it in your paper, okay? So you'll take a look at the video for annotated bibliography. That's the first piece of this that is due. Your best draft is due on December 2nd. Later that week, you will turn in your peer review of your classmates' draft, and then you're going to have your final polished draft due on the 13th. It is important to note that since this is your last paper and we're nearing the end of the semester, you will not be able to turn this in for a higher grade. So do your best work on your best draft, get your feedback from your classmates, and then make a really nice polished version for the final one that you turn into me here. Okay, here are more guidelines for writing this paper. This is the process that you'll want to go through for writing this paper. So like I said, it is a number of steps. You want to read the articles in relation to what you're going to be talking about for the discussion this week, and then what you're going to be thinking about for the essay. Do some free writing and brainstorming like we did for the first essay to help you think about that main question that you're going to be answering. You're going to do some research in the CCP databases and choose one source. You're going to make your annotated bibliography that's including that source and at least 2 other readings. You write your paper. You submit your paper for peer review. You do your peer review for your fellow students. You edit your paper based on that peer review. And then finally, you will submit your paper to me, okay? So this is a long process. Start early. Ask me questions if you have them. Let's take a look. Oh, you're also going to want to make sure to include a paragraph from the point of view of the naysayer, this is what you're reading about in They Say, I Say this week, about how to include that counter argument. So read that chapter, do the quiz, and then you'll want to include a paragraph that comes from that point of view. Here is information on how to access those library resources. So you just follow this path that it'll give you here, and you will be able to find those articles. This is a link about choosing the right search terms. So figuring out what are you looking for, what question are you really asking, and like honing in on what you put into the database so you can get back the right kind of responses. Here's a video on how to cite articles that you get from that database. It's easy to just go in and cite stuff right there. So use this resource. And then finally, you will have your discussion for this week. So you're going to be reading the articles, thinking about the role of identity in our lives, and thinking about what you might be saying in this paper. So you've got a lot on your plate. Get started. Good luck.